Hello everyone. Notice that there's a lot of people asking about just using VPP for building and having stuff built in VPP Object Builder on the server. But maybe there's a few problems there. They're having problems, let's say. You can build using VPP, no problem whatsoever. It's what you do with that build afterwards that could be the problem. Or some people are having a problem with it. One person mentioned that their builds were despawning after an hour or so on the server. That could be a problem. Another problem is that you might have another admin come along and delete the build from the VPP list. So what we'll do is we'll go straight into the game, try and be as quick as possible here, rather than 2 hours of messing about. So what we need to start the server up. The server's on my computer, so I don't have any problems. The batch file, just launch it. Hopefully the server will start without any problems. It happens. So let's minimize that out of the way. Let's minimize my OBS out of the way and everything else for the moment. We'll just have the server booting up. We'll make sure that was working. And what we'll do is have a scratch. Sorry. I have dogs. Dogs. Yeah. We'll go launch straight into the game if the server launches, and my Steam just shut down. So I have to start Steam again. I have no idea why it shut down. It does it every now and then for some strange reason. Maybe it's because they just want to advertise more things. So server starting, Steam is up. I'm gonna right click on the icon in the bottom right corner, then choose DayZ. I don't need to have Steam open. Just right click, choose DayZ, and launcher appears. From this, you can, if you're doing, if you're doing editor, DayZ editor, then you'd have a list of mods that you'd like to. Most of them are building mods thrown together. If they work, they work. If they don't. CF build writer, Dab framework, DayZ editor, and then some other bits and bobs such as Much Stuff Pack, and other building mods. And then once you've saved that, I save it as basic editor. I use that same editor all the time. That's launching DayZ editor. But we're joining to the server, and that's going to boot up. Move it out of the way. You may notice me fidgeting a bit. I used to be a smoker. When I still have that craving for smoking. Especially at moments like this. It's late at night. I'm alone at home, talking to people that I can't see. I can't see anybody. No voices in the background. There's no activity. It's very, very lonely when you're sitting here doing something. And this applies to modders as well. It's a lonely life sitting there. Oh, red flight system. Of course, that updated. Well, you might as well watch me update the server. For me, it's quite simple. That crashed. So for me, very, very easy. Because my server's on my computer, all I have to do is go into DayZ, the client, find the folder. It's Red Falcon, Flight Systems, that one there. I copy the whole folder, come back to my root, go into the server. I have my mods in a folder called mods. Up to you how you have your server running. I'll just paste it here and replace everything that's in there. And oops, we've still got ice. Server's still running, so I have to shut that down. Close that. Wait a few seconds. And try again. And I wonder what the update was. But we'll find that out later. So if you do that now, just open Daisy up. I'm going to have to open this up anyway. To test my... I need my Steam open again. Steam apps, common, and server. So let's have a look. Red. Quick look, see what the update was. Change notes. Added control grounding configuration to prevent all headers on the server from starting. Oh, added zombie slayer tech detection of Bell 249. Simple things. Not much to worry about. Yeah. Okay, so that. So let's launch the server again and see what other mods have been updated. I need to start a server with a batch file. As I said, it's on my computer, so do this all without having to leave the comfort of my screen. We'll find out in a second what other wonderful things were updated whilst I was otherwise off for a while. So we'll start this. I have to. Is that okay? It's been a fun thing. Use LAN and we can join. Whitelisted server, so don't worry about trying to join. There's no password. Because it's on my computer, I turn it on when I need it, so you'll never see it up and running. Well, you might see it up and running, but you won't be able to join it. So let's wait for this to server's booting up. I'm jogging in. 86 events. There's an active event. I forgot to turn the events off. Oh well, it's not a problem. We're not working with events today. We are working with VPP Object Builder and exporting the VPP in a raw format that we can paste into the init.c or into another file that we can include or reference from the init.c file. The fun bit about having a reference is that all your build is in a single file. If the server updates or something goes wrong with the server, the init.c won't damage your build. Your build's there. You can take the build and do whatever you like with it. And the init.c, you'll never be messing about too much with the init.c to break things. If you break the file, it's not a problem. Your file, but init.c won't break. So anyway, we're at Belota. So admin tools are on. God mode is on. I'm invisible. I've put invisibility on. Invisible mode. Zombies, bears won't attack you. Wolves will see through the invisibility, but as you've got God mode on, they will just be an annoyance rather than a problem. I'll show you an example. Quick example here. Okay, I'm standing here invisible. It's punch the zombie. And he doesn't care. Oh, he's running away. But what happens if I turn invisibility off? Over. Oh, and invisible again. There we go. He's lost me. Now they're looking for an invisible thing. It triggered the monsters to look for something, but they can't find me I'm invisible. So there you go. Remember that. God mode invisibility, very important. Switch those on before you actually, if you're an admin, switch them on straight away. Power, activate the VPP. Switch on God mode. Go into third person or whatever, or switch on invisibility, and then you can have fun with zombies. Right, so I did a build earlier, but and it's quite a simple thing. It is just a simple button. That's all. That's it. That's why I'm using the example. Go to Object Builder. I'm going to select the build. I'm actually going to turn it off and choose OK. Select the build again. What I'm going to do now is this little icon here, attributes icon, export raw. Click export raw and you export the name of the build. So remember the name of it. It's build example. And you press yes and it exports it to a folder. A little ding. I just heard it amongst the noise in the background. Save the edits. I haven't got it enabled, so it won't spawn again. But I'm going to leave the server. Before I do, I'm just going to put myself in a safe place. Okay, it's raining again. Okay, we're done here for the moment. I can exit the server. Whether the server's on your machine or whether it's local, whether it's being hosted somewhere, that's as much as you need to do. We've got the export of the build you made. So you've done your VPP object building, you built a lovely thing, and you saved it to that list. That's my telephone. You saved it to the list. Another admin comes along and deletes it from that list. You're totally screwed. You've got to rebuild it. Save the export. Export it as a raw. And what will happen is you'll end up with the export safely tucked away in the back of the server where the other admins can't get hold of it. Only the owner of the server, the lead admin, can get hold of it. So this is the back end of my server. I call it the back end, the root of the server. Yours might look different. You're on a hosting machine, whatever. But you want to go to Profiles. In Profiles, you go to Admin Tools. In Admin Tools, you have the configurable plugins. And in configurable plugins, you've got Building Set Manager. Now, this is where the VPP files live. You can create a new folder in Building Set Manager, and I called my storage. I literally drag my VPPs in there. They're off that list. Remember that list on the screen there in VPP? They're not on that list anymore. If there's nothing in here, there's nothing on the list. So we come back to Admin Tools, and then we go to the Exports folder. And we've got the one we exported called Building Example Text. Now I've just literally changed it to this Building Example Text, makes life easier, all in one word. I wouldn't recommend putting spaces between the words when you're building names. Use an underscore like this one, but a space will cause problems at some point in the game. It's okay for Windows 10, but if you're using a different operating system, spaces get a problem. So we're going to work with build example text. So we're going to open that up. Now, build example text, just a text file. So we can actually leave that there where it is. And just minimize that folder out of the way. It's now on your computer. You copied it from the server to your computer, and you've given it a new name called build example.txt. Okay, it's on your computer. Go to Notepad++. Get Notepad++. It's a wonderful thing. The other thing you can use is Visual Studio from Microsoft. You can use that if you like. Yes, I wouldn't look at that one. Something I was doing. Oh, it's too much of this stuff. Let's close that. Okay, so you can open it up in here. It's just a case of you can actually also just drag these things into programs. So this is V++. Um, sorry, this is Notepad++. With the example here, you've got the choice of choosing the language. A lot of people choose C because it gives you the colours and that. I don't generally bother because I just go normal text. And in Visual Studio, you can also do the same thing. You can choose things, different languages, etc., different colours and whatnot. So anyway, we're not going to use that. We're going to use Notepad++ today, and this is the raw file from the VPP. If you try and open up VPP, it'll look it's database driven, so it all looks weird. And you won't see what's going on. Here's the building I had and its coordinates. It's land shed, and that's where it is on below airfield. This little bit here you must have in your init.c. You must paste it above the void. So you've got to paste it up here. So we'll do that. Copy this, copy, and in your init.c, make a backup of the init.c. Call it backup. Um, call it backup underscore init.c. So if you make a mistake, you've still got your boot file. So you paste this in here. So far, so good. And now the next bit. This gets a little bit more complicated. You need to copy this and you need to paste it around about here. Just after economy. Well, paste it there like this. But you need a little bit more than that. This looks simple enough, but you need actually to do this. Well, exactly as you see it, really. So you can have it this way, and that's it. Your build is big. This my build is just one line. That's it. That's all I've got spawning. One line. When the init.c fires up and the server starts, it'll spawn the land shed closed. That's it. This is what happens if you have lots more. For instance, a black market. There's rocks. There's military buildings and tents. ATC stairs. There's a grave. The container. That's that one there. And then we have a altar trader. A trader up at Alta, the radio station. And you can see it starts getting a bit complicated. And if you make a mistake amongst all this, you're going to start having a problem. Now, there's a northeast airfield build as well, and now we're starting to get the very big init.c. You break one of these, you break the file, and try to find an error amongst. Let's. Can you see that little comma? I've deleted it. You try and find that comma amongst all this. You're going to be looking at the screen forever. So this is this choice is yours. If you want to do it this way, you can. The other way, there is actually a new way as well, but we'll get onto that. We'll just do two ways for today. We're working with the init.c today. The new way avoids init.c but uses the config gameplay.xml file. That's another story. We're working with the init.c. This is the old way of doing things, and the other way of doing things is this one here. I'm actually going to copy this, and I'm going to paste it into my like that. This is the include method. You've still got this spawner helper, what's called a spawner helper. You still need this, but instead of the line here, have this new line, that. Now I've put some things in here. It's called an include, and all you need to put is this information. The file you downloaded called build sample text, you save it into a folder. When you have it in here, and then file save as, then you need to save it to your MP missions, your Chinoris or wherever, and in the Chinoris, I've created a new folder called custom buildings. You can call it custom if you like, or buildings, and you put it in here, and you can save it as .c file. Literally, just change it to .c. That's all we need to do. So we save it there. It already exists because I've got one here already, but you can't see it. So we need to change this to all files. Give it a second. And there we go. I've already got it here, build example C. So I've done it already. So we've saved it there. So once you've saved it, you'll have it like this. In the init.c, you just have to create a path to that file. Its current directory is the root of the server, then np missions, the mission itself, Generous Plus, the custom folder you've created, I call it custom buildings, and the file you just saved, build example.c. And this name here, copy that, and you paste it down here, put 2 brackets and a semicolon. And that's just as easy as doing the other thing we were doing a minute ago. The advantage is all the data is held in this file, in the .c file, rather than being held in the init file. So you could take all this from here, take all this, it's exactly the same. All this, and we can cut it and you can paste it in here, and your init.c is now nice and clean and doesn't look like that anymore. So if something happens to init.c, the server crashes or the server updates, you don't lose your build because it's already safely tucked away in a named file in a custom folder that Bohemia won't update, but it's yours. So there you go. You've got your file, and literally just check it here. For an example, just confirm it's include. You don't need all these green lines, just for reference. So I'll leave this here for a minute so you can see. So current directory must have a $sign, 2 slashes, colon, 2 slashes. The next folder, 2 slashes, 2 backslashes. The mission folder, which is Daisy Offline Chinoros or Enoch or whatever. So then 2 slashes again. The custom folder you want to keep things in, to keep things nice and tidy. And then the name of the file, .c, because we took the text and we saved it as a .c. Get rid of all that. It's way too complicated. Save. So, and you confirm the name of the file here is the same as the name here, which is the same as the let's call it the activator. There is a specific name for that. I'm not a techie. I just do things, get things done. It has a proper name. I'm just going to call it the action activator, or whatever you want to call it. Just put this here with double bracket and a semicolon to end that line. An end of a line always ends with a semicolon. And that's it. So you've got that, you've got the helper above the main, and then you have the include. Once you've saved that, start your server up. and you'll have to upload it to the server, and then you start the server up. Now remember, I turned off the VPP on the server, so that building does not spawn. VPP has forgotten this completely. It doesn't exist as far as VPP is concerned. What is controlling that building now, or that build, is the file in the custom folder referenced in the init.c, and that's how it's going to spawn. And other admins come in, use VPP Builder, and they can build whatever they like, destroy whatever they like. And you know that your custom build that you made for the server, for the trader, is safe, locked away in a file they can't reach. they can they can jog on. So you know that you can give that power to your admins and let them build stuff on the server, because you know what you've built, the important stuff, is safe in a file in the custom folder in the back end of the machine. And the server's running. So we'll jump onto the server. Hopefully this hasn't been too long and I haven't waffled on too much. Trying to get just the important things down is sometimes very difficult because I get distracted very easily. And I go off on a tangent and I talk too much. Now I'm recording the whole screen, not recording it in any special way. I'm just recording what I see. So what you've seen is what I see on my screen. If I had two screens, it'd be much easier. I wouldn't have to juggle about. But then I'd have to slide things across. That's OBS for you. That's recording software. That's not anything to do with me. I'm just using it at the moment. Okay, so oh, one of the problems of having I've got OBS, I've got Steam, I've got the server running, Windows running, every other program running, including the game. So my server's a little bit slow when it comes to loading things in. 24 gigabytes, fair enough. I need to fix my motherboard. It's broken. It's supposed to be 32 gigabytes. Anyway, I can see a building. So, admin tools on, God mode on, invisible on, free cam mode will fly over there. And here is the building. So if we go in and have a look at Object Builder, the list is empty because we moved it into its own folder. So no one can destroy this building because it's in the back end. And none of your admins, they can do what they like. They can build what they like. And you know that the trader you built, you spent hours building, is safely tucked away in that custom folder, being referenced in the init.c. If the server updates and you forget to back up your init.c, you'll just have to write it again. But you don't have to build everything again. You don't have to build everything. It's safely tucked away. You can even give that file to somebody else for a different server, and they can do the same thing. They can use that file in the init.c reference, and they can use it. You can package it up in a zip file and send it to somebody else. Not a problem. There's a new way of doing things. It's called the game CFG gameplay.xml, and I'll do a video for that later tonight. It's only 11 o'clock in the evening. I've plenty of time before I fall asleep, and I'll probably do a video for that later on. If I can remember how to do it. Memory of a goldfish. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you can watch this video again and look at the files, see how it's all written. I won't put the files up on the internet because copying files from other people is sometimes risky, because somebody might, I don't know, might mess about with the file. Never trust a file from somebody else unless you've tested it somewhere safe. Anyway, okay, so let's say I want to turn this off. I'm just going to log off here. I'm not worried about zombies. They kill me, they kill me. It's not a problem. It's my own server. So let's close the server down. And we'll close that down. So just give it a second for Windows and my system to do what it needs to do. Okay, so we're finished with Notepad++ for building. Let's say we want to disable what we've done. Two choices. You can go in here and you can comment out these two lines. That's it. It's turned off. The server won't care. That's it. It's turned off. Done. What I'll do is comment it out the references. You could have other. You could have as many as you like, as long as you have the same items down here as well. So see, the first line here, that's Northeast Airfield. This one here is Skillisty Island. This one here is a black market trader. This one here is a helicopter trader. This is your main trader, and they're all the same here. So the only difference is this tells the server where to find the file, and this one here, down here at line 31, activates the file. So, and you just comment out what you don't want to be running, and it won't run. For me, what I can do, I don't use this system anymore. I use the gameplay one, which I'm going to do a video in a short while about that. It's just as complicated as this, really, if this is complicated. So we'll save this. I don't need to worry. I'll just turn it off. This helper script can just stay there. You can leave it in init.c. It doesn't do anything unless there's files to reference or lines to spawn. And that's it. It's turned off. Next time the server starts up, it won't be there. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Whoever you are, ladies and gentlemen, they, them, it, or whatever. Good night.